And hello, good evening, good morning, or good afternoon. All depends on where you are in the world. But tonight, Margot is, well, after spending quite a long time, nearly an entire month being state and not knowing what was happening, she is once again enjoying her freedom. And with that long dress, well, perhaps not the most beautiful dress she has on, but more one of the more beautiful dresses she has. With she's got all of them. This is a dress of great quality she has on, and at this time there are not many mortals in the desert, in the streets, especially with what's been happening and the plague on. But this is how she likes it. She doesn't mind if there isn't a crowd, and she is in the gardens dancing, letting herself sway to the wind, to whatever is around her, to her own feelings. And oh, let me make the roll, but she'll spend actually spend of a willpower, even if no one is around. This is just pure enjoyment of dancing itself. She's not doing it for the crowd. She's doing it for herself, just to feel that movement again, feel the the movement that are her own, of not being strained by chains or by a stake. Oh, okay. Oh, and then there are one, two, three, that's 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. Holy shit. So there's 13 success deaths. This is, how to say, her movement seems to follow the wind. It seems to be part of the wind. It's as if to anyone that walks past, it's as if she is actually the wind itself, a part of it. She follows the wind. Her entire body seems to just flow with the world, with everything around her.
When her dance finishes, she may become aware of the sensation of being watched.
She'll stop her dance when it finishes and turn her gaze with a smile, of course, that smile that she is used to, that genuine smile she is used to giving, the one that shows appreciation. She'll see Thorvald.
She sees him in very different circumstances to what she last saw him. His hair is grown. It appears to be kept long at this point, with slight decoration to it. Little beads, gold beads in his beard. He's wearing a more merchant-like attire, silk shirt. Still in dark colours, but he looks um, wealthy as opposed to his normal soldiering attire. And the collar that he normally wore around his neck is now absent, although there are a few scratch marks, abrasions in its place. They look minor, nothing to worry about.
Her smile gets brightened, gets wider as she sees him, and she'll, still with grace, still with ethics, still with, she's still very much behaves herself, but she will kind of rush to him Thorvald, you have, and she'll smile, you have changed.
He reaches to take her hand to kiss it in greeting.
She'll let him.
And then he smiles and he says, "But I am pleased to see that you have not."
The smile just goes away just for a little bit. I carry a scar for the mistakes I've made. And then again, yeah, as if it was just for a second, she'll brighten again. But I have learned from them. Such is the life of a kindred. Such is the life of anyone.
And you have been gifted, because each scar is a lesson that makes us stronger.
I shall nod. I see that you. I shall look to his neck. You lost what you used to wear on your neck.
He puts his hand sort of up but slightly. Yes, my service has changed hands in the time that you've been away.
So you have a new master, and you serve them willingly.
I do.
Ah, good, good. Who do you serve now? If I may be bold enough to ask.
Sister Madeline is who I call mistress.
Good mistress, if I say so myself. Even if we do not agree on everything, I believe our differences can be talked.
We are learning a great deal from one another. There's a slight.
Go ahead.
He does sort of he smiles, and it's kind of like one of those smiles that, you know, he attempts to sort of say it plainly, but he does smile when he says it, and it's a genuine sort of a little bit of mischief behind it.
She'll chuckle. She's a beautiful woman indeed, and one that I admire in certain views.
I would. Your clanmate, Johanna.
And she'll smile. Yes, Johanna.
She is leading an expedition to tackle some of the problems of the city. Perhaps if you lend some assistance, it may help to mend some bridges.
And she'll nod. Perhaps I will.
I would not hasten to put you in danger. There are far too many women risking themselves on this mission to my liking already.
And she'll just shake her head. Do not worry for that. If I put my life in danger, it only means I am free to do so. And I have lived through over 100 years and I am still alive. If it is right to do so, then my life will be taken. But I do not believe such time has come yet. Only the world can tell me when my life is over.
In its case, she's been looking for volunteers, and perhaps I'm sure she'll be happy to see you.
Oh, I'm sure she will. I've missed her so very, very much.
She's an interesting woman.
She is, and she has traveled. It's one of the flaws of humankind. They do not travel enough, at least in my opinion. And the manners we have of travel are still too slow to travel the entire world. Unless, well, unless like us, you're eternal.
He puts his hand up slightly, feeling the breeze between his fingertips. If only we could travel on the wind.
Perhaps one day. And that day we will be able to see the sky and travel with it, be one with it.
It may be possible for me to do so at some point.
And she'll, like, look at him, down her eyes, but not in a suspicious way, more in a very thoughtful way. Gangrel can learn to fly, can they?
We can transform ourselves.
Such a beautiful gift it must be.
Although the nature of our transformation is not always what we want it to be. We can become any manner of beast.
So you become one with the world around you. You become nature, an animal. Beautiful.
He seems to ponder for a moment.
Your new attire, is that the doing of Lady Madeline too?
She seems to prefer me as a free man.
And she'll smile, like a very bright smile. That is how I know she's a woman of taste. If I must say so myself, if I must come to confess, it was so sad to see such a man such as you, restrained by a collar, restrained by not having his own freedom, by not being able to be his own man. But now, as you said, Lady Madeline prefers you as a free man. That is how any man, that is how any creature of this world should be, free.
And yes, I am not a free man, but the nature of the chains is different.
We all, unfortunately, carry chains. It's part of what still makes us part human. Look at them, look at the animals, look at the wind, look at nature itself. It does not obey anything. We did that to ourselves, humanity, and as part of humanity, kindred, as a stretch of it. We are not free because we are not free, and perhaps we'll never be free because we were once human. So sad. We can be but any stretch of freedom that we can have, anything that makes us just that gives us just a little more freedom is something that we should reach for. I would rather she'll put her finger to her chin as if she's thinking, yes, I would rather see my days come to an end than to see one day when I am not free to roam wherever I like. I may not be free, but I may not be entirely free, but I am not a slave. No one should be a slave.
He nods.
And she'll grab it, no, well, not exactly grab it. Let her hair flow through his hair. Her hand flow through his hair. And your hair has grown too. It must have taken some time to grow your hair as a member of our society.
My hair was always long, but my sire prefers it shaved. She says I look too much like an animal with it long.
And she'll smirk. Well, now you get to wear your hair as you wish. You are free to do so.
Madeline seems to prefer it this way.
A woman of taste. And she'll just smile.
How is your safety with your feeding? I don't imagine you have much trouble.
No, I do not have too much trouble. I definitely see the difference of how Edessa used to be, but my beauty and what my sire taught me that, well, and yes, I say my beauty and what my sire taught me makes sure that I am never too hungry, even in times of sickness like these. So unfortunate.
I've heard that some are taking to killing inside the city walls, which is a dangerous event.
Yes.
I don't know if you've met these Malkavians.
I've met Malkavians, yes. Which ones are starting to kill inside the city?
Only a rumor I've heard, a poster I've seen.
And she'll think, oh, it comes to me now. Yes, I saw one on the way. Oh, poor Mina. I thought her sire would have been wiser, would have taught her so much more. Perhaps she needs someone else to guide her.
Perhaps you will be destroyed.
Then so be it.
It is a waste. We are all victims of hunger, and if her master cannot keep her sated, then she's forced to feed this way. I've killed before to eat, but I would never do so in the prince's walls. It causes too much trouble. I prefer not to kill unnecessarily.
Killing unnecessarily is, in fact, such a shame. So the rumors are that she killed inside the domain of the prince.
Yes.
What is to happen of her?
I do not know. They do not speak to me of such things.
I hope she keeps safe. It would be a shame to see her die for such a mistake. Perhaps she can learn from it.
If she is not released, then they both may die. Silver doesn't seem all knowledge about that. He's like, oh well.
She is young. Sorry, go ahead.
But then her sire does not please me, and therefore I would not be too aggrieved to see him depart.
Is her sire her? Sorry, forgot his name already. Torna's character.
Yeah, it's Garrett, isn't it? Garrett.
Garrett. Okay. Shall I say, is Garrett her sire?
I believe so. The one who used his madness on Madeline.
I had not heard of this. What did he do to Lady Madeline?
I believe it was with her curiosity piqued, and there was unlawful use of the discipline, but he caused her grief. Thorvald seems sort of like he looks like he normally looks like he's really thinking about what he says, but now he's really thinking about what he says carefully.
Shall caress his face. I'm sorry that happened to your master.
You can feel that his jaw's quite tense when she does that.
Just now, you can relax. I am just here as a friend, as a friendly presence. I will not harm you. I'm not sure I could harm you if I wanted to.
I'm sure you could.
But yes, Garnet is, well, he's a charming man, but I am not sure he is a man I fully trust. In fact, I know he is a man I do not fully trust.
I will have words with him if we ever meet.
She'll smile. What will you tell him?
Thor looks upward slightly. I'm not sure yet. Perhaps later we can speak further at Johanna's house.
And she'll look. Perhaps we can. Perhaps we can. Yes. I'll talk to Johanna. Perhaps we can make a private event. Not open to everyone, but. And she'll look to him. And with a very charming smile, actually, that we.
I have form there.
Okay.
So I will be there in any case.
Sorry, what was that? I didn't catch all of that.
He said I have duties to perform there, so I'll be there in any case. And then goes on to say, I help Johanna with the dead.
Oh, she'll smile and nod. And then, as I said, she'll make a very charming smile, like kind of seducing smile. As so, let's see. It's 5 and seduction 5. Oh, 6, 7 with the 10 because she has a specialty in seduction. And she'll say, not everyone will be welcome, but the most appreciated of presences will be. And she'll tell that to him with a very seducing smile on her face.
He bows to her, taking her hand and kissing it again.
She'll smile perhaps if she was still breathing, she'd blush, but she'll just smile. In the meantime, I should, make the most of my freedom. I believe I'll walk the streets of Edessa, see how it has changed since I left. Doesn't seem like there are too many changes, though. But still, walking free is a good feeling.
Alice Thorvald whistles, and a large grey dog appears.
I just smile and kind of kneel down. One hand slowly going for the dog to pet it.
The dog wags its tail and leans into your hand. You can tell it's not in any way intimidated by you.
Oh, Helena has inoffensive. Margot has inoffensive to animals, anyways. But
yeah, he's also. It's a Gould animal. You can tell that simply by its size.
Okay.
Fighting dogs are big. This one's bigger.
And what is your name? I shall say with a smile to the dog.
His name is Odysseus.
Such an interesting name. How did you come to choose it?
A story I read when I was a boy.
A name from a story. Oh my. May I be bold enough to ask what that story is?
It's rather long, but it's about a journey. And tonight, I think Odysseus will accompany you on your journey. To make sure you are protected.
Oh, sorry.
To make sure you're protected.
Good. Thank you, Odysseus. And she'll get up again. Will he find you by himself? I'm sure he will. I can sense that he is attached to you, that he is not a normal member of his species.
Thorvald reaches down and strokes the dog. He knows where to come at the end of the night to find me. In fact, he's enjoying his new bed by the fireplace.
And she'll pet him again. How lucky you are. A bed by a fire. Must be warm in these cold nights. Come, Odysseus. I'll show you the beauties of this city. And then you can return to your strong and handsome master. And she'll smile and smirk.
He bows, and he will leave them to journey together.
And as Margot enjoys the city of Edessa, enjoys, well, even if it's not as much of as even if it's not as she normally likes it, she still gets to walk free, and so she will walk the city with a smile on her face. With that, unless you have anything to add, we can end the scene there.
Yeah.
Thank you, player, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching, and see you on another episode of Edessa.